Hello there, you're now watching TVS News at 5 p.m. With me, Lorenzo Isaac. Let's begin with our top stories. Air flight prices from Peninsular Malaysia to various destinations in Sabah and Sarawak have dropped significantly for flights during the Hari Raya Aidilfitri festive season from May 8. This was after the discussion and approval by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob as well as proactive action by the Transport Ministry together with the Malaysian Aviation Commission MAVCOM and domestic airline companies.
Transport Minister Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong said, based on MAVCOM's observation on April 16th, the one-way economy fare for that period from April 27th to May 8th is between 105 ringgit and 1,398 ringgit. Meanwhile, for April 29th to May 1st, which is the peak period, the one-way fare is between 195 ringgit and 1,398 ringgit. The situation was different from what was discovered on April 14th, where the price range for one-way economy class tickets for the said period was between 105 ringgit and 2,084 ringgit, whereas the peak period fare was between 195 ringgit and 2,084 ringgit. We also clarified this to claims that one-way economy class flight ticket costing 3,000 ringgit was for a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Kinabalu with a transit in Kuching. Previously, it was reported that flight ticket fares between the Peninsula and East Malaysia cost around 2,000 ringgit for a return trip during the Aidilfitri festive season.
More temporary transit center TTG will be established in several districts throughout Sarawak for the year 2022. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah said Sarawak government is committed to resolving the homeless issue in the state by implementing placement planning and programs for the homeless.
According to Fatimah, every temporary transit center or TTG established will be assisted by non-governmental organizations or NGOs, as well as cooperating with corporate agencies involved in any corporate social responsibility (CSR). She added that the state government is planning to implement projects, programs and social interventions such as counseling and training in hopes that it will change their fate. Fatima also pointed out that Sarawak is among the top states in the country in terms of the number of rescued homeless during the COVID-19 pandemic. She said this after chairing the Homeless Management Committee or JPGS in Kuching on Tuesday.
Dan semasa Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan pada tahun 2020, 145 orang gelandangan diselamatkan. Dan bilangan tersebut meletakkan Sarawak di kedudukan ketiga di Malaysia yang mencatatkan jumlah gelandangan teramai diselamatkan.
Sarawak has ran a vaccination program for the homeless, in which 124 out of the 158 homeless have been inoculated.
The Sarawak government will share its experience with several other countries in exploring new economic opportunities. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, will speak in Singapore next week before a trip to Rotterdam, Netherlands in early May.
Sekarang, negara-negara lain mengenali usaha Sarawak dan menjemput saya untuk berkongsi sedikit pengalaman yang ada dengan mereka sambil meneroka peluang-peluang perkongsian ilmu dengan negara-negara luar.
Commenting further, Abang Johari said Sarawak, like other developed countries, should utilize technology to drive its economy at the highest level. Sarawak also sees international efforts to reduce global warming as an opportunity for efforts towards a low-carbon, fuel-based economy. Sarawak Disaster Management Committee is set to announce the standard operating procedures for the upcoming Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration. Its advisor, Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, said the matter will be announced in due course.
It should be coming out soon. We always guided by our medical experts. It's always a balance about how to safely get through the Hari Raya. They always tell you that as we move into live with everyone together, you must have good ventilation in your house. You must make sure that everyone is at higher risk to receive the latest vaccination if they're eligible, like second booster dose.
Dr. Sim was met by reporters at a Berbuka Puasa event at Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching on Monday. He said the fight against COVID-19 is far from over and a newer, more infectious variant might appear. Therefore, he urged everyone to remain vigilant despite already in the transition to the endemic phase.
So I urge those people who get infected once already still have good practice, because the second infection tends to be more symptomatic. That's what I mean by more severe, more symptomatic, because your immunity all waiting to fight.
Commenting on the medical tourism industry, the Public Health, Housing and Local Government Minister said, while health tourism is important, the health of Sarawakian is more important now.
There's no question that the health industry, even though it's important, but it's more important that our own people getting the best treatment.
Welcome back. A total of 347 officers and members of the Royal Malaysian Police (PDRM) from the Sarawak contingent were conferred the Jasa Pahlawan Negara Award (PJPN). The award presentation was held for the first time this year after being postponed by the pandemic. The ceremony was officiated by Bukit Aman Internal Security and Public Order Department Director Datuk Sri Hazani Ghazali at the Dewan Kenyalang in the Royal Malaysian Police Training Centre, Pulapol in Kuching. He said a total of 347 PDRM officers have been awarded the prestigious award this time to honour their sacrifices and contributions to the country, while the remaining 300 officers in service will receive their awards in the upcoming series in May. Unvaccinated residents in Lawas are urged to go to the nearest vaccination centre. Lawas Member of Parliament Datuk Henry Sam Agong said a total of 9,922 need to be more responsible in ensuring the safety of themselves, their family members and the community.
Di Lawas ada ramai yang belum menerima vaksin ini. Terbanyak kalau ikut maklumat yang saya ada 9,400 orang masih belum kena injek, belum mendapatkan vaksin. Ya, ini kalau ikut pelaksanaan, yang ketiga.
Therefore, he urged those who have yet to receive their booster dose to not be deceived by claims made by irresponsible parties. Adding further, he said all vaccines procured by the government have been studied by experts around the world.
Tetapi pihak kerjaan, dia sebelum menerima tanggal upati vaksin, dia buat kajian, bukan di Malaysia saja. Kajian ini dibuat di model akap-akap di seluruh dunia. Ya, jadi janganlah kita selaku orang yang tidak mempunyai kebakaran dan cakap vaksin ini tidak perlu diambil. Jadi merupakan satu perkara yang penting supaya dapat menjaminkan keselamatan kita semua.
Earlier, Henry attended the breaking of fast ceremony with community leaders organised by the Lawas Parliamentary Service Centre in Kampong Panggi, Jalan Trusan. During the ceremony, he also distributed bubur lambo and contributions to senior citizens, single mothers and disabled children in Kampong Panggi. Lower-income families should be provided with financial assistance for their children to be administered with vaccines once the free service ends after May 15. As such, funds and cooperation is needed to enable them to procure the vaccines in order to reach the 80% vaccination rate of children in Sarawak.
Yang saya khawatir adalah golongan ibu bapa yang benar-benar mahukan suntikan vaksin untuk anak-anak mereka, namun niat tersebut dihalang disebabkan oleh komitmen kerja ataupun menghadapi masalah logistik untuk pergi ke pusat kesihatan bagi mendapatkan vaksin untuk anak-anak mereka. Dari segi implikasi selepas apa yang berlaku selepas 15 Mei ini, pembayaran perlu dilakukan. Jadi untuk mengatasi masalah tersebut, kemungkinan tabung ataupun mungkin bantuan daripada ketua masyarakat setempat mungkin diperlukan untuk membolehkan mereka mendapatkan suntikan perlindungan tersebut untuk anak-anak mereka.
Dr. Helmi Hamzi added, the cooperation formed also guarantees facts accuracy when it comes to COVID-19 vaccine, especially for children.
Usaha ini akan dapat berlaku sekiranya semua pihak, terutamanya komuniti, menggembleng tenaga dan juga bekerjasama dengan pihak kesihatan untuk mendapatkan maklumat yang sahih dan juga tepat berkenaan dengan vaksin COVID-19 ini, yang mana profil keselamatannya adalah baik dan juga berkesan untuk melindungi anak-anak daripada mendapat jangkitan COVID yang teruk.
He said when asked to comment on the statement of the Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Seri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, with regards to the end of free COVID-19 vaccine starting May 15th.
And that concludes TVS News at 5. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Have a good evening.